and the more that you take on board, the more complicated this will become, because you don't actually need it. You don't need more and more. If you're practicing the Dharma, if you're practicing Buddhism and all the stuff that it has to offer, well, okay, but what we do is Dharma. And to nurture that spirit of I'm being alive to yourself, of coming back and to stay with those basic principles, and so that whole polishing process can take place, so that the pillars and the paramitas become alive. They're not a theory, they're not just some lovely idea, but you actually begin to live them, to see that they are a part of what you are right here in your everyday life. And to do your best to come back to that situation over and over and over, so that you're not going anywhere, that you're learning to be still, you're learning to be present, you're learning to open up to yourself and accept yourself and to give yourself wholeheartedly to the moment. That's where transformation takes place. It doesn't take place in just adding more and more and more. That's a delusion. That won't get you liberation. It's that characteristic of that cyclical spirit of coming back with yourself and stay nice and tight and nice and firm. And if you can do that, I mean, this is the spirit of what this group is about. It actually is a very simple group. We don't have a lot of stuff going on, and that's the characteristic, that's the nature of it. And from my experience, and this is what I'm doing, is I'm offering my experience from my own practice, is that it is crucial to have that simplicity in your life. And that runs against so much within us that wants things to be complicated, that wants more and more and more. And to wake up to that and to learn to say no to that conditioning of wanting more and more, and come back to the simplicity. And when you can do that and get into the habit of just of accepting and being content with something that's actually quite small, be content with that. Say, well, this is it. This is the Dharma. This is my practice. This is what I've agreed to take on. And it's something nice and neat and small. And it's about just polishing and seeing deeper and deeper and deeper into what I've agreed to take on as my practice. And if you can do that, the way I see things, you are absolutely on the button. This is it. This is where transformation is going to take place. That's my own that's my own experience, and that's what I offer you as a very simple and a very direct way of liberation. And I think that's what we all want. That's what we're all here for. That's what we all commit ourselves to. I mean, everyone, of course, wants this. But I think we have to be so careful. We are beings of the world. We are deeply conditioned by the world. And we have to be very careful of that world, that we don't fall into the trap of making our practice a part of that world that we are very, very much caught by. We need to nurture that part of us that isn't a part of that conditioning. And the only way we can do that, I am convinced, is to keep it simple. And just to put in place that sense of coming back. Yes, I've been there before, I've heard it before, here we go again. that mind, I want something else, give me something else, where you let that go and you have that openness and that clarity, so that when you're listening to something like this, or whether you're in your daily life, you have that clarity and that openness, that newness. And this is the beginner's mind that we've all heard. Wonderful concept of the beginner's mind. And it's the beginner's mind is where transformation takes place, not in the conditioned mind. The beginner's mind means that you're empty of your conditioning, and you're like a child that's not fixed in a position where you come into a situation where you're open and you're prepared to accept with an open mind. And in that openness, in that spaciousness, that stillness, which is what the beginner's mind is. The beginner's mind is still. It is not. There isn't anything in a beginner's mind. It is stillness. It is the unconditioned, which is our true nature. When we can bring that into our everyday life, that in that moment, in that space, in that place, there is where things can change. In that unconditioned, we learn to be still on the cushion. Bring that stillness, become familiar with that stillness, that environment that's open, where there is no person, there is no ambition, no desire, no things that get in the way. All the furniture is all pushed away, so that there is that openness, and that there, and nowhere else is where change takes place. and to come into, to bring that space into your life more. To wake up to that space, we need to have that spirit of simplicity, of coming back, of just that polishing. Get that sense of polishing, not going somewhere new. I've been here before, of going around and around, as it were. But when you come back into that space, even though you've been round 19 times, on the 20th time, something gives, and something just opens, and something a little bit clearer in that 20th time. But you need to go around 19 times in order to get to the 20th. And that's the mind, if you like. That's the Dharma mind. That's the name of the group. That's the Dharma mind that we need to become familiar with. And that Dharma mind isn't something that you create, but you discover that Dharma mind is already there with you.